Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome here to Laurel Park, where we are now officially into March. It's March Madness. Keith, how's your weekend been? Or week, sorry.
So far,
So
so
far?
good.
Okay,
Yeah, a
yeah,
little,
yeah.
little kind of disoriented getting back the 4-day break and into the 3-day week, but we'll 3 days a week and we'll get back to four, I believe,
I wasn't
next month.
disoriented at all. I
No, you
absolutely
enjoyed it?
loved it. I loved it,
Little,
yes.
little break. Yeah, so
Yeah,
yeah, we're
needed
still
it.
holding down the fort. All of our fearless leaders, they're
I know.
traveling the world.
They
They're
are.
partying with all the dignitaries down south, and you, me, Rod Dog, the rest of
It's,
the crew here.
but
We're holding it down.
But hey, we've got it. We've got it, no problem. They
Yeah.
can. I mean, I'm not gonna say we don't need them, but it'll be nice once we get them. But
Well,
we're having some fun here while we get them.
yeah.
Let's dig in
Okay.
right away to our. I just wanted to highlight really quick the Pot of Gold Stakes coming up on Saturday, March 19th. A night just starting at a regular 240 post. A nice 5 stakes day race card with about $450,000 in purses. We've got the Harrison E. Johnson, the Beyond the Wire, the Private Term, the Not for Love, one of my favorites, and then the Conover. I'm really looking forward to those two Maryland-bred stakes races coming up.
Yeah, we've got some lead-ins, the 3-year-olds, heading towards, Black-Eyed Susan Day and the Black-Eyed Susan and the Preakness. So, that's one of them goes to the Tezio, and the other
Yes.
one is the Weber City Miss, I
Yes.
believe. So,
Yes.
we had a pretty
Yeah.
good day on Sunday.
We did.
I
We
know
had a
we're
good-
going back, but I tell you, I hope we can pick up where we left off.
We did. That was a good day of racing that we had Sunday. And a couple of races that had some pretty decent handles. So hopefully that can, at least shorter. We're going from the 4 to the 3-day race weekend. We're going to have some jammed up cards a little bit that we see coming up for once, and especially once some of these horses are coming out here getting ready for turf season.
Yeah.
It's going to be, we've got some good cards coming up. So yeah, let's take a look at the track right now,
Okay.
guys. I wasn't out there this morning, but when I was outside, there was nice wind. It was about mid 20s. It's bumped up a little bit already. It should be getting a little bit warmer, but track is fast and firm.
Yeah, 34 degrees. Not too bad. What, you taking off your little side hustle? You're
I,
not getting up in the
it's-
morning?
I needed a couple. I needed a couple of days or weeks just to take some time off. We've had a crazy schedule, but I'll be back in the saddle. Probably next week.
Okay.
They're calling me. They're saying, "Hey, we need you," and I'm like, I'm kind of an indoor house cat right now for the time being with the wind, especially
blame
with
you.
that wind. I want to wait until it's a solid, consistent 35 degrees out there. But hey, I can't have everything. Nobody can. So, but
right.
into race one,
Let's
here
roll.
we go. 5.5, claiming 5 for the girls, 4 and up, which is number 1, 2. We both land on. Bullets Lady for Damon DeLudovico, Alexander Crispin. He doesn't do this move often, but the last several times he's done the Charlestown to Laurel move, they've been favorable results.
Okay, yeah, Bullets Lady catches, this is a suspect field, let's face it. Nickel, 2 in life, nobody's really blazing along right now. Some horses have tailed off form. Bullets Lady, she's, 6 years old? She's won
Yes.
9 times. Patience, the little Vico barn, that's one thing they do have, and everything kind of paid off. Got a softer spot, got the confidence back last time, just absolutely whistled at Charlestown. Is she as quick out of the gate as maybe a couple of these? Maybe not. I think
I
the
don't
outside is going to go
Yep.
Suzette Star, but I think a stalk and pounce kind of trip is in order for Bullets Lady, albeit at a short price to get your day started.
Exactly. And then I also land on Pass It On, Carlos Mencia. Again, this is, the field is a little bit questionable, but the horse has just shown just enough for the 5.5. It works for him, and, the inside trip last time out, and I thought it helped him out a little bit. So he broke well enough last time out, but just due to being on the rail, he was set back a little bit. So we'll see how he is with that outside, a little
Okay.
bit more of an outside position.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Race number 2, starter optional claiming 25, mile and 16th on the dirt. Here we go. But before we get into that, of course, we have your early pick 4
Okay.
ticket. Keith, take it away.
All right, it's $27 ticket. I'm looking at this early pick 4, Callie, and I'm not seeing huge prices. So if I can turn 27, let's say into 100, 150, I'm okay with it right now. 3 deep to get you started in the second, 3, 4, 6. 2 deep in the third. We've got to scratch out. Part of that entry is out, right? Miners
Yes.
Jim is gone. So
Yes.
Tweet Away Robin and Sammy Sunshine. They look like the two. Gallinella, if you want to go 3 deep, that would be the other one to throw in there. Race 4, 2, 5, 6. Can Escape Fund come back and duplicate that effort? Big try last time out.
Yeah, huge.
2, 3, 6. The return of Eastern Bay, the return of Awesome DJ.
Yep.
I got a little stat later for you for the 2. So
We love a Fustel stat.
yeah, I hope we can get a little bit of price there on May the Horse Be With You. There you go, $27 for the early pick 4.
Absolutely. Let's see if we can make that 150 for you, Keith.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
try.
All right. I hope you get it. So to start out race number 2, mile and 16th on the dirt, I go in for a little bit of a price play with Assembly Point, the Gaudette horse. I'm just giving a shot. I know there's another horse in this field that has the same type of storyline, but that one-turn mile with some distance after the wire can confuse some horses, drifted out a little bit, got slammed down to second for the DQ, but I like this inner post going around on the 2 turns. I really think that's the biggest key with this horse. Other times he's been 2 turns, he's just been a bit under his weight class. Saratoga, a competitive Indiana Downs meet and Keeneland meet. I mean, come on, give this horse a little bit of a break.
Yeah, I think that he can handle 2 turns.
Yeah.
Just a little unlucky last time. I mean, he took a rating hold early, went on to the lead easily. He was dead game to the wire. He was still running through the wire. Just a little hiccup there, drifting. Had the sheriff chip dropped in. He's going to have to deal with no burn. No burn to me, all or nothing. I'll try him on the top spot today. He comes out of a really, really stacked field last time out in New York. Winner ran a Beyer of 100. You look at his recent numbers, even with the fade, he's doing okay. So he's quick. He even might be a little bit quicker than the 2, but I do think he has a little rating here. He's going to have to separate. If he gets in a tussle, say from the 5/8 pole to the 5/16,
we've got problems.
We've got a little
problems.
Yeah, and
we've got big problems.
And then there's going to be somebody lurking, and it could be the 4, just in the nick of time. Who I think he's going to draft in a good spot. And our lucky man, I think might have moved a little too soon last time. That was a big field. Gomez trying to work through some traffic. Can't really fault him, but that was a pretty good field there that other than. So this horse, he's the main one that wants that duel to develop.
He
up
does.
Front.
Yes, absolutely. And I think with our top 2 selections, depending on how that shakes down, I do think it sets him up perfectly for our lucky man to just get a bit of a piece of it. Race number 3, starter allowance for 7 furlongs on the dirt for the girls, 4 and up. We get pretty similar a scratch out Miners Gem for Hugh McMahon. We do have a video on our 1 and 2 selections. Tweet away Robin for Hugh McMahon, and we can see her on the rail. Had a little bit of an issue. It's not really her style, but she did come away. She did give it an honest effort even after, napping in the spot that she's comfortable
What do you think the issue was here? You're the jockey.
Yeah.
I'm just a degenerate gambler. So she's traveling well. We give her the comment. I kind of give her try to lug out. Anything just cornering? Could there have been some kind of other issue, an equipment thing? What kind of goes through your process? Because she picks it back up, and we'll let the video roll, and you'll see her make a run. But what's your thoughts on that as a rider?
Looking at this, just a handicap, I felt like she just had a moment last time out. So typical front runner. So when you're not braking quick enough, you have to take back. Boxed in on the rail. She was probably just really uncomfortable with it, which causes fillies like that to stress themselves out a little bit. And one of the things that they do, they just will lug out. But otherwise, she's a very even runner. I just think just having a moment. We're all allowed to have moments, and I think she was just having a moment there on the rail. She just was not liking it.
And lots of moments. I'm telling you, that's what they created beer for. I guess.
We're all human.
I don't know, but no. And she draws outside today.
Yes.
Scratch of the 1, Miners Gem. She was able to beat Sammy Sunshine basically on the square. Now we're going a little bit shorter distance, but I think you're right. I think she'll set up shop just outside. And her improved stamina is what's kind of caught my eye. That's Tweet Away Robin, her last couple, because I thought more of her as a 7/8 sprint type, but man, she's showing the willingness to get extra ground.
And here's the thing too. We were talking about how she was getting out, but then she got back within herself, and she kept herself engaged throughout the race. She tried, a horse went in front of her. She was done at that point, but she was still trying. She was still making an effort, which makes me all the more confident with her on top. So, and talking about Sammy Sunshine, I'm not worried about her taking it on the rail. It worked out well enough for her last time she went 7 furlongs. She's not afraid of being on the rail and handling that type of pressure whatsoever. And overall, I think she's got quicker gate speed than the likes of Tweet Away Robin.
She might be just a shade. If she breaks clean, you're right. And she's got a pretty good cruising speed, going longer, and she just stays on. She's a stayer. And the perfect type of horse down. You look at her, 13 wins out of 49 starts down the road. You got to think she's going to be a nice little broodmare for somebody. But
Absolutely.
I like the efforts that she's bringing to the table. She was able to outrun a pretty quick horse like Marvelous, get away from her, and hold on well. So, yeah, Gallinella, they kind of gave up last time, got the confidence back.
Exactly.
She's got races on her page, Callie, that kind of work. I mean, I think, again, she's going to fall into a trip. Is she getting back to top form is the key. She's going to have to come close to a top.
I mean, as of late, Dale Cap's been 34% third after the layoff, so he's doing okay there. But I think the biggest thing of it is that those two girls don't, guss each other out at the end. That's where her strength is in this race.
Okay.
Race number 4.
All right.
Starter optional claiming 6 furlongs on the dirt for the girls. It's a girls' day today, and we've got a ticket before I get into that. So, again, I was able to get a single today, but race 4, I go in with the 2 and the 6 Tequila Fog and Escape Fun. Race number 5, I go with the 2, 3, 6. Could go a lot of different ways there. I know you have the 2 on top, Keith. Race number 6, that's where I single in on 8, Award Wanted. I just think she's lengths against the rest of the field there, especially we'll get into her trip last time around 2 turns a little bit later. Race number 7, I go with the 1 and the 2. That Robert Gamber horse actually really, really intrigues me. Race number 8, I just hit the all button just for fun because I feel like there's a lot of horses there are a lot of fillies that have plenty to offer. It's a nice little mix of it could go any which way. And race number 9 for our nightcap, I go with 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 4 is $57.60 ticket.
There you go.
Yeah.
57. Yeah, that 8th race. I'm very intrigued to see how they go. I mean, X-Man decided I sent the odds in before I saw the jock changes. I do that sometimes because of time constraint. But he did choose the 2 Bandits were interesting.
I
ready.
thought so.
She's off of a break. Good race. Our last 2.
Big break.
Strong races to finish out the card. But let's talk about the 4th real quick.
Yes, and so we're going to start off with a video on Escape Fun, what we were talking about for Mikey Gorham. A nice, impressive run last time out, and just very, very professional. Just held it together. Yeah. Really just, we've got Malcolm Franklin coming in for a visit and giving us a little bit of a showdown when the horse was with Norman Cash. And, I tried actually to put her underneath my ticket, but I just couldn't deny her. I couldn't deny this performance, and with that kind of speed on the outside, Mikey Gorham first after the claim. Yep. I mean, where can you go wrong with her?
She brings this effort back. Now she's coming back in 13 days or something. They're not going to beat her. I mean, that was a good race. She relaxed off the leader, went to the front, and basically with ease, and really responded and drove powerfully through the stretch. Coming back a little quick. I screwed up the morning line in that race too. I'm still mad about it. She went off at 7 and 2. I had her higher. One little stat. Trainers are 1 for 15 off the claim over the last couple of years off of Norman Cash. That's the only only real negative that I took off of that. Gorham is good off the claim. He's been steady Eddie for years and years and years. So, but I like her draw, Callie. I mean, she's out there. She's speed. She probably only has to measure the horse from Charlestown, so she may just separate. If things get tangled up, look for the 5 or the 2. I think to rally into it. They're pretty steady mares themselves.
They are. Devilish Affair. I think she's steady. She has to take, no denying that I like her experience at this distance. She knows how to come off, but she did have a little bit of help with a rail trip last time out. She's consistent, but she is the type that can step it up should she need to, and this is a situation where she does, in fact, need to do that. Race number 5. Excuse me, before we go to race number 5, we're going to stick to a commercial really quick. Welcome back off of that nice little commercial for Preakness, which is going to be coming up quicker than we expect. But let's get on to race number 5, starter optional claiming 6 furlongs on the dirt for the 4-year-olds and up. And we've got a Keith Fusel stat coming up on the number 2. May the horse be with you, Keith. Take it away.
Yeah, we're riding a little bit of a streak here. Let's hope it just doesn't come to a major, crash and burn in the 5th race today. But we'll try this one. We're going to key around the 2. May the horse be with you. Jamie Ness, the last 6 months. Look at this, along the dirt. 19 for 47, so whopping 40% going second off the claim with an ROI of 229. Yeah, Nest Barn is really, really going strong over the last several months. Maryland, anywhere, Mid-Atlantic Parks, you name it, wherever he wants to run, he wins. This is a horse that showed a lot of class. It showed a lot of ability at a younger age. Prior Connections dropped the horse in for 25, a couple races back.
Yep.
Ness reaches in, down to a 16. Not what you really like to see, but the horse didn't run terrible, Callie.
No.
And this horse was taken back off the pace that day. It still showed a little run.
That's the biggest thing that I wanted to point out about May the Horse Be With You, and what I like what Ness does, because what he'll do is he takes these horses, he could see that, this horse somewhat even. I could see why they kept trying to send him to the front with the previous connections.
Yeah.
But Ness, when you take a horse that's constantly going to the lead and it's not working, you take him back and you see what they can give you, and then that quotes results for a horse like May the Horse Be With You. That's a perfect example of that.
Yeah, I think in this situation, right, drawing inside, we've got the scratch of the one hair of the dog. If she comes out cleanly, I don't want to see like the immediate take a hold, because he has enough speed, I should say. He has plenty enough speed to go and get in that stalking position.
Plenty of cruise.
Behind, the WW Springtime. So I'm looking to take advantage of that, the ability, that stat, and we'll come back to us.
Absolutely. Let's key in on our video to the number 6 Swing West for Red Hot David Mohan and Bryson Butterfly. Not square in the gate. So as a result, really got slammed coming out of there. You can see there was just some shuffling about and just really knocked this horse out of it. But what I like, it was, that was at the allowance level, and that was a logical move to go up to that allowance level. So now we're back down to another logical move. That was against going to the lead. That's a nice horse that we're going to see coming up, I think, in the near future. So with that all combined, I just think there's a lot of promise here, and we'll be tracking with this group.
Yeah, he's really improved, gone up nicely through the ranks for Mohan. And you're right, he broke in, he broke left, he bounced around, settled, staying on his left lead here. But all in all, Jock gave him a pretty good trip. Got to the inside around the turn, was able to work out and come running a little bit late. Just has to hold form. When you're looking at the race, because you've got the question marks of Eastern Bay, Awesome DJ, back class kind of horses that have run fast. Eastern Bay's been proven off the left, so is Awesome DJ.
Yes.
But, the horses, the recency of Swing West puts him in there, and with a cleaner break, you saw of recent note, he's been able to kind of sit up closer too. So against this particular group, with a good break, he should be forward and staying the trip.
Absolutely. Race number 6, a nice allowance here, mile and 16th for the girls 4 and up. We both land on the 8 Award Wanted, which is my single and my best bet of the day. Now going back to when she was at the mile and 16th, back at Laurel, 27th of January, chasing a fake speed. There was a fake speed that went up there. I think X got a little excited, made a move at the half mile. I thought just even a little bit before the half mile, hooked up with that horse early. I think this filly is game, and she was very game, but you can only ask a horse to be so game for so long before eventually something's got to give. And, the winner went ahead and went away, but just watching her, she was still trying very hard, and she just got nosed out for that third. And it was a very game third, despite, having to do a lot of work in the middle of the race.
Yeah, and you're looking at the field now, and she had a little hiccup a couple races back. You see on the short comment, she was a little keyed up, a little rank, and couldn't get her to settle. But she got back on her game. All in all, a good effort, I thought, besides that, trip. Today, you got the scratch of R. Avery Lynn, who I thought was just going to set sail from the inside. So, hey,
not anymore.
This is what the X-Man, you put him on the engine, he's awfully tough to beat.
Exactly.
So I think you'll see him aggressive early into the first turn. He may not have to even use too hard and then just drop in and try to control it.
I think with her, it's all about just keeping her nice and relaxed and quiet until it's time to go. I think ever since that rank issue, she's just really, I think she learned from that a little bit and just really developed after that. So I think just really sets up really sweetly for her today.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Rob's loaded in here. Ghost Maiden's got a shot.
Yep.
They've both run down Mitt Mazel in the past. Mitt Mazel tried to slow it up. Ghost Maiden was able to grind it in tonal vision. I mean, they look like the major three in here. And obviously, award wanted with a clean trip early.
Yep.
They're going to have to come and get her, I think,
They will.
by the time they leave the 3/8.
Yeah, but Xavier Perez on the lead going along. It's just that's dangerous. So yep. And then going on to race number 7 furlongs on the dirt, 4 and 5 for the girls. Maiden claiming 40. We've got a video on the 2. I Can Do It. For Robert Gamber, JD Acosta, just a lovely, educated trip for this moment. I really thought this was a light bulb race for this filly. Just drastic change, a really just educating ride by JD Acosta. But what I really love is that this filly gets surprisingly just super game once she gets to that top of the rail and just starts getting asked.
Yeah, she did. And she didn't run awful back in November, early November, in her debut on a sloppy racetrack. Money showed for a Bob Gamber horse to be 9-1 in a debut. That's a lot of money. Somebody liked this horse. They saw this filly in the mornings, and she ran well. And she came back off a little break and ran really well, too. Lone Lick of Life up there, piece that was able to control it. She gets any kind of help here. She wants this extra ground. It looks like 7/8, well within the scope for her. So I think she's a player from just off the pace. She was going to get put in position with JD against this group.
Yep, absolutely. So, and then we also have Starting to Bang in our little exacta box. And, it makes sense that they tried with this horse at a mile 2 starts back, just really trying to figure out the distance with her. So I think this 7 furlongs just finishes her up really, really well. I mean, that last time out, 6, she still had a little bit left to go. And this is another one who had a nice box tracking trip. And I just think she got a lot out of that. 2 fillies, our top 2 fillies, both got a lot out of their last 2 races last time out. Another light bulb type of race for this one.
And running styles, both of them look like they want to get the extra ground. Start with a bang. She's run against better. There's no doubt. You take some of the horses. There's Ghost Maiden. There's Out of Sorts, Miss Chesapeake. Horses that have all gone on been competitive in open company. So, yeah, guess the stranger is the 4. All the play last time in a 7-horse field. Blinkers going on. Perkins trying to kind of wake this filly up.
Yep.
Let's see. I can't really leave her out of my exacta boxes, but sure looks like if the 1 and the 2 bring their race, they're going to be right in the mix.
They will. At race number 8, our allowance optional claiming 62.5, 5.5 on the dirt for the 3-year-old girls. We've got a video on the number 5, Keith. Forget about it. Let's tip into that really, really quickly. Again, had a little bit of a stutter. That was again when these young ones aren't square, they're not going to break clean, and that's exactly what we're seeing here today. However, we see this non-clean break, but I love what she ends up doing later on down the road. I mean, Xavier puts her in, just tucks her up into that spot, wakes her up, and really gets things moving.
I'll tell you one thing. They do a phenomenal job at the Robb Barn for getting these horses prepared for races, because even if they get a hint of adversity thrown their way, they're able to overcome it most of the time. And this reminds me a little bit of like a lot of Hope's debut.
Yes.
A lot of Hope, I think, worked an outside trip from the top of the stretch. But look at
how
filly.
game she is on that inside rail. She
Yeah.
just pins her ears. She knows exactly what the assignment is, and there's not much Xavier really has to do at this point.
No. And from a family, winning early, it's there, going to the wire. You wonder. Here's the question, and I don't know if you know the answer, but X-Man goes to Bandit's Warrior. Interesting. That's the only thing that kind of put me over the top. She beats, by the best, who ran big in that debut, has come back, as recently as a 2-time stakes winner.
Yep.
Bandits were really fast. I was just wondering. So in Robb, I trust. It's these two, and I think this one's from Penn. You got to worry about a little bit.
Yeah, that I specifically remember after that Pimlico win that Xavier came up after he came up the steps after the race, and he was very, very excited about that horse. They tried to enter that horse a couple months later at Delaware for the optional claiming 75. It was a nice jump up. It was a steward scratch. So clearly, in some of these 2-year-olds, some of these babies, they get that experience, and then they just need time. Some of them just need time. So that's what I really love what the Robb Barn does and a couple of these outfits do is they give these 2-year-olds the time that they need. And I feel like with Xavier Perez getting on, that's a huge telltale sign.
Yeah, a little indicator there. The half to Anna's Bandit's Warrior. So, yeah, Rob, it's a good field. I mean, Beneath the Stars is fast. She's kind of backing up in distance, coming out of racing against really good horses.
Yep.
I think this 4. And now, I had a little difficult time lining this race. I know we're a little short on time, but I went and watched that race. Go watch the video. That was a dominant performance. They must have really hid this filly to get almost 7-1 on a barn that hits it 25% of the time at Penn National.
Yep.
She dusted them. She went away and hid. Really strong effort through the gallop out. This is a step up, no doubt. But, boy, visually strong.
Super intriguing. And this is why I hit the all ticket for my pick 6 on this race. And let's finish it up with the nightcap, guys, for our optional allowance, claiming 50 on the 1-turn mile here for the 4-year-olds and up. We've got a video on the 5 Baracho. Let's take a look. Let's see that for Mikey Gorham, Jamie Rodriguez. Really just the biggest thing is just very, very commanding performance, just very professional. There's just very simple, very, very simple.
Yeah, and this horse is fast early, can stretch the speed. Gonna have to deal with a real player here in Bustoff, I believe.
I agree.
Baracho, though, impressive. Widening here, 6 and some change. Now we got to go a mile.
We got to go stretch it out.
Yeah, we got to stretch it out to a mile.
The last time we saw the stretch out at the mile was back at Churchill Downs. It ran a similar type of number going to the lead like that, so is capable of that. But are we looking at the same Baracho that we saw back in April? I mean, a lot can happen in between then. So, really, but again, going back to Bustoff, I think that horse, we both have Bustoff on top. I think just going to appreciate the 1-turn. Just the only issue is that he cannot have the trip interrupted. I think he gets offended very easily. But I like he's got a long work coming into it. I think, he just needs the trip to go his way, whether he's just tracking or ending up being on the lead. He can be comfortable with either position.
Agreed. I like that, and the staying power, maybe the edge on recent stamina gives me a little move here to Bustoff. He's bounced back off of those poor performances. You saw it. That no good in the small. Comes back, gallops, beats a pretty good field, comes back, Jennings, and not so good. It looks like he's now his turn to go back and run well. If he doesn't, then I think you might see him drop back down. Treasure Trove can bring a rally, no doubt about it. Dixie Draw's an interesting horse. Has flashed a lot of talent in the past. Will he need this race? But, man, he's working forward. Couple three-quarter works under his belt. Dale meaning business. It's another quality field to end the card. We don't ever really have a race like that.
We
strong,
don't.
strong
last couple of races here on this first March card here on Friday. Let's take it to the lightning round a little bit. We've got a couple of highlights for you guys. Just starting off your week with the current jockey standings, we got Javier Toledo leading by a near landslide of 27 wins. We've got Victor right behind him, Xavier Perez, Rodriguez, and Alvela all tied at 17. So it's the Javier and Victor show right now for now. Just winning the Maryland Renaissance year 2021 award. A lot of things we're going to continue to see with Toledo. As far as then we go on to the trainer standings. And we've got John Robb, of course, leading with no surprise there. With just it's that time of season. These are coming out, and even with his older and younger, he's just bombing it. And Jamie Ness with 15, Claudia Gonzalez with 14 underneath. And then also we do have a handicapping contest coming up that we want to highlight to you guys, the Champions Handicapping Tournament over in Tycoons Saturday, March 19th for that stakes day. About 300 are supposed to be involved, so really get your registration early, guys.
Good stuff. I love it. Obviously, license plates from all over the place coming in and converging on Laurel Park for that Champions handicapping tournament. Looking forward to a couple of weeks, right? Big stakes day on the 19th. So, looking forward to that.
And we lead off with that. We thank you guys so much for joining us here for today at the races. Best of luck on this lovely first March card.
You got it. Good luck.